This is Erwin Keys, and you are listening to WithoutYourHead.com, baby.
All right, and welcome to the station of decapitation without your head. I am Nasty Neil. I don't know where my cohorts in crime are, but hopefully they will be joining us very shortly. But right now, live on the show with us from Malevolent Magazine, our new partners in crime, Amy Humphries and Emory Slone.
Good evening.
Good evening. I think we need a round of applause.
Yay!
This is good to have you guys on here. Good to hear your voices.
Good to finally hear you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you guys got. We'll talk about new partnership with Without Your Head and Malevolent Magazine. I think it's going to be great times for both of us and for everyone involved who listen or read the magazine. And you guys got a huge magazine coming out October 1st.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it's a big deal.
Issue.
The Legends of Horror.
We're hoping that it'll be the one that puts us on the map.
Nice. So,
and it's going to be a collector's issue for definitely. The layouts in it is something like no other magazine's ever done before, and you'll just have to buy the issue to see exactly how amazing that it's going to be.
There's lots of huge names involved in it, which is great. And without giving too much away, because obviously you want people to buy it, and also if you're going to read it, you want to be surprised when you're looking at it. But without giving too much away, when you say unlike any other magazine, give some hints to what we'll expect.
Go ahead, Amy.
Well, I think whenever we did these interviews, one of our priorities was going back, doing research, and not asking the same question that anybody else has asked. Because these guys who are the reason they are legends is because we know their characters. Mm-hmm. But what we wanted to do was go beneath the surface, get into the head of the person who then did the character. So you're going to get perspectives and questions about them as people, which has a beautiful fluidity to how they got to their character. So I think what differentiates us, or what we strive to achieve with this one, is not just asking about the character and what was it like and that sort of thing, but tell us a little bit about yourself. What do people not know? And we had fun with questions. Bill Mosley was so much fun. We went crazy with his. So it's information, it's being informative in a different way, and not what you could YouTube or not what you could archive or something like that. So to be a collector's edition, it has to be collector worthy.
Yeah, that sounds. I think people who like this show would love that issue, because that's what we, try to do it with the interviews. Is not just talk about stuff that they might have talked about a million times, but try to find out about the people, because the people themselves are very interesting.
Right.
Exactly.
And we have some exclusives in this too that you won't see anywhere else. Like, for example, the movie Abnormal Attraction. We actually get to reveal one of their monsters. We have a still from that nobody's ever seen before.
Oh, really?
And also our tribute to Erwin Keys. His family actually gave us their blessings on it.
Oh,
and
nice.
His sister she's the one who actually wrote the article for his tribute. And we get to reveal, which you may have seen a few of them online, but we get to share his own artwork, the artwork that he did.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's his finger paintings. I mean, they're finger paintings, but they are like some of the most amazing artwork that you'll ever see. So we're excited to get to share that with everybody.
Mm-hmm. Now, Erwin's a great guy. I met him in Los Angeles when I hosted one of the panels he was on for Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses, and he's such a really nice guy afterwards. He thanked me, and he just said that he just went out his way to be a nice guy and say sometimes people, like you're saying, ask the same questions, but that I made it fun. But he was just a really nice guy. And have you guys met Irwin? Did you know him personally?
No, unfortunately not.
No, unfortunately, I have not either, but I followed him as a fan.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that we wanted to do, because when you get into this industry, you really figure out how small we actually are. And when you deal with cons and you deal with, a lot of the main players, there was an overwhelming reputation with him that was consistent, and it was warm and inviting and just this amazing. I've never heard an ill will towards him, and it was also because of timing, because Emory and I have been working on this since July. Legends has actually been up and running and being worked on since July. So when we decided to do the tribute, it was just within days of his passing. And one thing that we were steadfast in was there's no better way to make a tribute than to have someone who knew him best write the tribute. So actually his sister, Eileen Glick, and her husband, Todd, wrote the piece. And it is it's Southern, if you will. And the whole way that came about is I actually contacted them asking for their blessing, because you'd never want to assume what someone wants to be remembered by. Mm-hmm. So the tribute is from his sister, and we want that to be in the highest respect.
Mm-hmm. That's great. When you say, everyone says, good things about Irwin, I think that's a big reason why he's in so many things. Not only he's a good actor and he's unique and everything, but he was fun. People like to be around him. So have him on set and on their films. Now I love the cover. You guys just unveiled it today.
Yes, William C. Cope. He's for everybody who's listening, check him out on Facebook. It's The Art of William C. Cope. But we couldn't be happier with how it turned out. And everybody, the legends themselves who's got to check it out, they've been enjoying it. And just the realism that he brings to his artwork is amazing. And we finally got to reveal it today, so that was a big moment for us.
Yeah, it turned out great, and it's awesome to have all the characters, the artwork of each of the Legends of Horror that'll be in the issue, and it looks awesome. When did you? Love it. How did you guys meet? How did you guys come to be a team?
eHarmony.
Yeah. From the net. No, actually, in late June, Amy approached me about her boss, Eileen Dietz, Pazuzu from The Exorcist, and we were talking about Malevolent Magazine doing a piece on her, and we just it just kind of clicked from there, and we started talking about, well, why don't we see what we can do with Legends of Horror, like we started with Eileen, and it just built from there, and now we have this complete issue with 10 legends, several indie films, artists, special effects artists, a little bit of everything in the horror genre we've accumulated for this one gigantic issue.
Mm-hmm. Now, Amy, how did you guys meet before you did the magazine? Were you guys friends before you did the magazine?
No, we actually, one of the several jobs that I do for Eileen is the media, because I'm a media director for her as well, media merchandising. And so I do the magazine Contacts. I had watched Malevolent and been a fan of Malevolent as a reader on my own. So when you do that side of the job, the public relations job for her, it is more of a contact magazine and get an interview scheduled. And I don't know if you can refresh my memory. I don't know, because it was so much information at one time. We locked in the interview with Eileen, and I think we kind of just did the normal horror. What is it that you do? And then it turns into what is it that you like? And then it's, I've noticed this about your issue, but what are you planning on in the future? And it turned into a 4-hour jam session. And the birth of Legends came about, and at first it was just an idea, and then we were plugging away at it starting in July. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm. See, you guys have been working on this for months, and you put all this hard work into it, and then you finally, see the issue. You see the cover, you see all the content together. What feeling is that like for you guys to see the finished issue, and wanting to see everyone else, get to see it?
It's going to be really amazing. I know whenever every issue that I've finished with Malevolent, it's kind of like, like whenever a filmmaker finally gets to see that film on the screen, and whenever the readers, the people who are in the magazine, whenever they appreciate how their layouts turned out, then it's, that's really the biggest reward. Even, as long as the people in the magazine are happy with how they're represented, then, I feel like our job is done.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know you guys got John Dugan for it, who I'm good friends with. That must have been fun, because he's always a riot to talk to.
Oh, yeah.
I have been the main go-to with them. I have so much fun with John. I think you have to have a certain level of personality, and I'm a fan first, so there's that kid giddy that you have to get past, but he is freaking hilarious. Mm-hmm. and the banter and his cackle, my God, I can hear him laugh forever. He's got the best laugh. And so the banter, so you get a relationship, because they're respected first, and they really are good people. But I do have to say, my most favorite thing that I'm going to take away from this experience is when Tony Moran turned the tables on me and interviewed me and asked me, because we stay in touch and we talk, and he knows that my family goes camping and so forth, and he said that, Amy, I know that you guys just went camping, so when nature calls, how do you do it? And I'm now having a bumper sticker made that says, Michael Myers cares how I piss in the woods. I mean, it's one of those moments, and it's mine, and no one can take it from me. I dare you. It's just awesome.
Mm-hmm. Now, is the answer to that in the magazine?
No, the answer for that is just as I said on the station: at trunk of a tree, and you look for an incline that goes down. Flatland is for rookies. And you got to be smart about this shit.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps that could be a whole an issue in the future, how horror icons relieve themselves in the woods.
I think Emory would completely approve that. Mm-hmm. That's exactly the direction you want Malevolent to go in, right? And
that's
horror defecation.
That could be that. You might have to save that for Malevolent Magazine Extreme. if pictures are included.
And in other news, did you know how Pinhead took a shit? There it is.
It might be hard for him to wipe. I don't know where all the pins are. It could be in other parts of his body.
Right?
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. See?
These are the kind of questions.
I'm already brewing it in my head. That'd be great.
It would be legendary even in hell.
Exactly.
And you know I'm going to just destroy you with, oh my gosh, we've got to do this.
I'm down for it.
Oh, Neil, did you hear that? He said he's down for it.
I did.
It's on the record.
I will cut that part out and send to you. See?
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Now, you mentioned doing conventions. What are some of the conventions you've been to recently?
Well, we've got a new correspondent now, Candace Berryman. She is going to be our special effects writer now, and she was at Horror Hound. We are sponsoring Colorado, the Colorado Con, which actually we have 2 legends at, and that is going to be the Colorado Horror Con and Halloween Film Fest. That is over Halloween weekend. That's in Littleton, Colorado. So we're sponsoring that, but we're going to be present at 4 State Slasher Horror Convention in Winchester, Virginia. And I was just recently asked, I will be following in your footsteps, Neil. I get to MC the Scream Queens.
That's going to be good times. That's, oddly enough, the very first panel I ever emceed was a Scream Queens panel.
Was it?
Yes, it was. Oddly enough.
Nice.
Yeah. Which, it actually had a male Scream Queen in it, too. But it was good times.
How does that work?
Mark Patton calls himself the male Scream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't he have a documentary coming out
about that? I retract my statement. I get it now.
Yeah. Yes, he does. He does. Mark Patton's a great guy. He's one of the nicest. When I started doing the conventions and doing, because I'd never done anything like live in person before, and he's like, "Oh, you'll be good at it." And he was one of the people that put a good word in for me. So yeah, Mark Patton's a great guy. But he does have a documentary coming out. I think they might have a campaign going right now to help get it released.
Yeah, it's been on, and isn't it called Scream Queen?
I think it is. Yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah.
Yeah, I do. I think it's Diary of a Scream Queen, but I might be wrong. But I think it sounds right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And unfortunately, there was a video I was part of that another person in that video doesn't want it to be in the documentary. And it's too bad because it's very funny. But it involved a shirtless Mark Patton, a man in a giant penis suit, myself, and a cameraman in a hotel room at a convention. And it's a very funny scene, but one of the people involved doesn't want it to be in the documentary, sadly.
There's so many different.
Blur her face out?
Yeah, that's. We'll have to put that in. I think that's a good idea.
I'm sorry. There's so many directions you can go with that. You don't do that to someone with my ADD. Good God.
You have to fit.
I may or may not have the video hidden on my YouTube account.
Good Lord, man. It's going to take a bit for me to wrap my brain around that shit.
But, well, I wish you good luck on the Scream Queens panel, and that's got a great lineup, that whole convention.
Yes, it does. There's a lot of amazing indie films too. Sean Anthony's Blood Loss. I should not look at something and talk at the same time. My apologies. Yeah. Blood Loss is going to be played there, and they're going to do The Price. He did that short on $1.
Wow.
That's an amazing film too.
$1.
Yeah. I think that's a huge inspiration to people, because there's a lot of people out there think, I can't get something made, I don't have any money, or, I don't have thousands of dollars, I don't have one to sponsor me, and here's someone who made something with $1.
You hit the nail on the head, because to know that can be done for $1, not only because it's so inspirational on so many different levels. You know what I mean? It's inspirational to those who think they can't do it. It really is a true testament to how brilliant Sean Anthony is. But it's $1. So at 4 State, that will be, it is October the 16th on Friday at 7 o'clock. They will be showing that.
Mm-hmm. I also saw they had some, I'm sorry, what were you saying, Emory?
The star of that, Jessica Felice, she'll be on the Scream Queen panel too.
Oh, very
along
nice.
With Genevieve Rossi, Mel Heflin, Jenny Janetti, and who was the other one, Amy? There was 5 Scream Queens total.
Did you say Mel?
Yeah.
Mel Heflin. You did?
Which Mel, she's been in a lot of the issues of Malevolent. She was even on the cover of this past Women in Horror issue. And, of course, Genevieve, she does the regular article, A Day in the Life of the Scream Queen in Malevolent. So there's like a big connection there.
Why don't you guys talk about some of the, we know that this particular issue is the Legends of Horror, but what you mentioned a few things that are normally in the magazine. Why don't you let people know some of the articles you can get every month?
Well, in October, we're releasing the Legends on the 1st, and then 2 weeks later, we're going to be releasing the regular issue of Malevolent. And we have a few new writers that we're going to introduce in that one, which Krista Johnston, she's our new interviewer, and she'll be making her interviewing debut in that one. And Amy mentioned Candace Berryman is our new special effects writer. Mm-hmm. And she'll have her article. And Jennifer Valdez, she's an indie filmmaker.
Hey, this is Bill Mosley. I play Otis in House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects and Chop Top and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And you're listening to WithoutYourHead.com. Don't touch that dial or I will lick your plate. Oh, no.
Yeah, we just lost you real quick. So, we're back, though, live. So, would you like to say what you just said again? Because I think we lost some of it.
Okay. Okay.
I'm the quiet one to speak again. This is brilliant.
That's very professionally handled. Just say it again.
But yeah, the Legends issue will come out the 1st, and then on the 15th, we'll have the regular issue of Malevolent come out. And it will feature Massimiliano Cherokee, his films Hellbilly, House of Evil, and Insane. I hope I got his name right. But we'll also be featuring Dan Brownlee and Jessica Ann and their film Tomb's Rise of the Damned. And Leanne Langford did an amazing photo shoot for this one, and we interviewed her. Joanne Thomas from the Fantastic Horror Film Festival, she'll be telling us about her selections for 2015. And then probably what you guys missed was the writers that we're going to introduce. Mm-hmm. And Krista Johnston, she's going to be doing interviews with us. And Candace Berryman, that Amy mentioned, she's our special effects writer now. And Jennifer Dowd.
And we have a very special one.
From Candace?
No, a new announcement.
Okay, yeah, for coming up in December?
Yes.
Are you allowed to say that, or that's going to be in the issue?
We were going to actually...
Are you ready for me to do it in?
Yeah, we were going to actually reveal it tonight.
All right, excellent. Exclusive here on the show.
We are so very, 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 very excited to be bringing on a team member. He's helping. He is officially a part of Malevolent. He will be making his writing debut with Malevolent in December. But we have a new lead writer from Tom Holland's Terror Time, Rob De Niro.
Really?
I'm just kidding. I'm so kidding.
Taxi driver.
Delaro. We teased earlier that I would say De Niro, so I had to put it out there. But yes, Rob Delaro is our new lead writer.
That's awesome. That was excellent.
Yeah, we're very excited for that one.
Yeah. I was just looking at the 4-State SlasherCon website. By the way, you guys can go to it, facebook.com/4-State SlasherCon or 4stateslashercon.com, and it's for FOUR. And it's very cool because they have Creepshow 2 people going to be there, and I'm a huge fan of Creepshow and Creepshow 2, so I'm glad that that's a movie you don't see a lot of talk about. You don't see guests from, so I think that's awesome.
Yeah, as far as I know, that's actually their first time that they've had a panel like that anywhere.
Mm-hmm. It's his first convention appearance ever for Daniel Beer.
That's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be an amazing con, especially for a first one. They have all kinds of amazing people going to show up.
Yeah,
Plus incorporating the music to go along with it, with live music shows too.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Mm-hmm. Go on. What were you going to say about that, Amy?
No, it's Dave Guides. I did the whole kid geek out because GMAC is doing Cry Little Sister. And that was my ringtone. I was like,
awesome.
Oh, totally. That's all. They had me at G. It was amazing. Mm-hmm. So they're going to be doing that. But I like the fact that they're doing one versus they're incorporating so much because it brings in more, but it's so very entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to see the two together, and it'll be really nice to see these guys pull it off. They're doing a great job so far.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is their first. I'm very excited. We haven't had a con of this magnitude down here, and because I'm in Washington, D.C., and I've often wondered why we have not had a larger con here. So this will be a lot of fun, and I hope it sticks.
Yeah, and the with the music, I think that's just like there's such a crossover audience between I don't know what kind of music can play, punk music, because I see Michael Graves is going to be there, and horror fans.
Yeah, it's a lot of you take the punk or the metal fans, and I'd say probably about 90% of them are hardcore horror fans too.
Yeah, definitely. We had Michael Graves on the show. He was awesome. So, did I cut you guys off with some other talk about some of the other things you get to read every issue of Malevolent Magazine?
I think I'm pretty sure I got them all out. I think it was just you did hear me say A Day in the Life of a Scream Queen with Genevieve.
Yes.
And then J.K. from Horror Happens, the radio show. He has his article Top 5 from the Bunker that he has in every issue.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we have a pretty well-rounded team now, and with Rob coming on, it's going to be perfect.
Let's see here. We got a 818 area code. If you're listening to the show in the background, turn it down. So, who are you? Where are you calling from?
No, this is Sean Anthony. How are you?
Very good. Thanks for calling in.
Hello, Sean.
How's it going, guys?
Good. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I just want to congratulate you both on what looks to be a great issue coming out. Love the cover, love the video, and it should be really intense. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, we really appreciate it, and we're happy to have The Haunted as part of it.
We're pleased to be a part of it. We really are, and I can't wait till people see it. As far as the issue goes, I think, like Amy was saying, I think it's something that people haven't seen before. I've never been asked questions like what Amy asked me, and hopefully the rest of them are the same way, and it sounds like they will be. So, cool stuff.
Yeah, they were just talking about you earlier, and it was all good.
Yeah, I was listening in. I was one of the reasons I called. I was very flattered by that, and I appreciate you guys and what you do for the indie community. And I was really honored you guys spoke about our films, and so thank you. And so far, I'm really enjoying the show.
Very cool. Thank you for calling in, and then be welcome to come on sometime. Now, how would people...
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Now people get to read about you in the upcoming issue, and in the meantime, or after they read about you, how is the best way to find you and some of your projects?
Most of my projects are on Vimeo, so you can go Vimeo on demand. I know this week coming up, 3 of my films will be on Amazon Prime, as well as available on DVD through Amazon. So they can find me that way, and the best way to find me is on Facebook. Just look under Sean Anthony, and I'm there. So
excellent. All right. Well, thank you for calling in.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, and enjoy the rest of the show, and keep it up, guys. Good work.
Thank you, Sean. We appreciate you.
We appreciate you guys, too. Be good. Bye.
You too, man. Thanks a lot.
Now, I know you guys like to showcase a lot of independent horror in the magazine, and what's out? You must see a lot of them. What's that like? When you find, an independent artist and you really enjoy their movies, and it obviously you can enjoy a mainstream movie, but there's something special when it's on the independent level, and you can even in your own way help that get out there, and people can find it. And what are some of your personal memories about finding different independent artists that you like and try to work with?
Well, it all started with the first issue, and I had actually never seen any of Bill Oberst Jr.'s movies, but I was introduced to him through his agent to be in the first issue, and he's like a hidden treasure. He's basically like the king of indie horror as far as actors go, and so and that's just the thing with indie. You discover so many talented people, and with each, it seems like with each issue, there's like several, new people that I've never heard of before that's kind of springing on the scene, and they all have all these unique and original ideas that you'd never seen will be the new mainstream in about 10 years.
Hey, this is Adam Green, the director of Hatchet, and you're listening to WithoutYourHead.com.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we lost audio there again briefly, but we are back. We did
it's just because whenever Neil gets mad at me, he just presses mute, and so whatever.
Let's see here. Well, I think it might be which we're happy for the callers, but I think it might be affecting our broadcast here. 703 area code. Who are you? Where are you calling from?
Hey, my name is Allie, and I'm calling from Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh, excellent.
Hello, Allie.
Hi. I just want to say that I am so excited for this episode, whatever. I'm sorry. I don't speak the lingo. I'm just so excited. I'm so proud of Amy, and I'm so proud of Emory. Emory, I don't know. Amy, I do. And I just want to say, Amy, I am so proud of you. And I love you, and I cannot wait for this episode to come out. I am jonesing to get my hands on this magazine.
Awesome.
Just a few more days, Mama.
I'm waiting, baby. I love you guys. I'm so proud of you. That's all I wanted to say. I'm listening, and way to go. You guys have rocked this issue. I'm very, very proud.
Wow. We really appreciate it.
You bet.
Thank you, Al.
Thank you for
calling in. All right, love you guys. Have a good night. I'm still listening.
Bye, Mama.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. That's very cool. See, you're bringing in some new listeners to the show. And there's a lot of people here that are really into the magazine on Without Your Head, so there'll be some new readers for the magazine.
Yeah, that makes us a perfect team.
Exactly. And now, for people out there, what's the easiest way to get Malevolent Magazine?
Just go to the website malevolentmagazine.com or find us on Facebook at Malevolent Magazine, and there'll be, just at least every other day I'll try to post the links to the magazine.
Yeah, it's very cool because you guys have the actual physical copy, and you can also get the electronic company. You get the electronic issue on the e-issue. That's easier to say on online.
Yeah, and there's so many people out there that says that physical copies are of yesterday, it's pretty much dead. But there's, us hardcore horror fans out there, that's what we love, is our actual copies of a magazine. And so to have it, on digital and hard copy, it's, it satisfies any horror fan for, like today's lovers of technology or old school people that love the paper copies.
Yeah, it's also a good way. If someone they're not sure, they're like, do I want to check this out? Then you can get the copy online and then decide, hey, I'd like to, actually have the physical magazine.
Right.
It's a good way to try it out.
For only 99 cents, check it out, and then if you like it, get yourself a hard copy.
Yeah. Now, I assume you both grew up, like myself, reading horror magazines.
Yes.
What were some of the ones that, that inspired you to get involved in horror at all?
Fangoria.
Most definitely.
Yep.
They were always my favorite from back in the day. I still actually have a pretty good collection of them. And then, some of the newer ones, I really like Rue Morgue. They're probably about my favorite of today's horror magazines. But it's the mainstay, Fangoria was always my favorite.
Now, what's the difference between Malevolent Magazine and Malevolent Magazine Extreme?
Malevolent Magazine, I used to cover just about everything, in the spectrum of horror. But and I would end up with magazines, like as thick as a Bible, And so I decided to separate the two and have Malevolent cover indie films exclusively. And then Extreme, it goes more into the realm of photography, art, tattoos, and alternative models, which it seems like, they both have their own fan base, but then there's also the people who love both of them. So there's something out there for everybody with both of them. And the Extreme, it does go a little bit more extreme than the regular Malevolent, with the, it's a lot more gore and stuff like that, and in the horror photography especially. And this current issue, it has Lilith Astaroth on the cover, who she's not only an actress and model, but she also performs in metal bands. And I actually got Paul Booth for this one too, the legendary tattoo artist, and Horrify Me, based in the UK. You should see. Have you ever seen them? They have some of the most amazing horror photography that I've ever seen.
Yeah, I have the newest issue. So yeah, I didn't know them before the magazine though.
They'll be having a couple of things coming up in the November issue. This kind of really freak people. The theme is hell. If that tells you anything. We might have the devil and some Hellraiser type figures showing up the next time.
Excellent. 616 area code. Who is this and where are you calling from?
This is Robert De Niro from Georgia.
All right, excellent.
How you doing, Mr. De Niro?
Good. Oh, good, man. Good. I was doing that movie with, what's the name, Anne Hathaway, and, got some time to call in.
I'm a huge fan of Taxi Driver.
That's right. I was a taxi driver.
You forgot, apparently.
Oh, my God. That was so funny.
No, guys, I just wanted to call in and just say thank you for, announcing me tonight. And, dude, it's been like listening to a radio show like during an apocalypse or something. It's just been like going out, like my tune-ins have been going out.
It's back on. I'm having some problems here, but
dude.
I'm running everything here myself, so cut me some stuff.
Yeah, where's Annabelle tonight? I didn't actually catch why
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Yeah.
Holy shit!
I hope she's okay.
So funny. I'm still going after the whole Robert De Niro. I told you I'd do it.
You did say that. You did say that.
I am not the one that anybody wants to dare. I might be small, but I'll do it.
Yes, you did say that.
That was great.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. I just wanted to say, like, you guys are doing a great job. And by the way, that Mark Patton documentary is called Scream, Queen. Scream Queen.
Okay.
Yeah, and Mark is a great guy. It's probably somebody I'll bring to the Malevolent table at some point. I was actually talking to Mark a couple days ago about the documentary and stuff, and just his take on some things. I was talking about my daughter and stuff. She happens to be, whatever, she's gay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, where am I going to hide it? Is Kim Davis listening right now? Just saying, yeah. But, no, it was awesome that you guys announced me and stuff. And, Neil, you guys do a great job, man. I listen to you guys a lot. And you guys actually introduced me to Blair. I didn't know Blair lived like 20 minutes away from me.
Oh,
and,
that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a fantastic girl, and she's got a great product. And, that was through you guys, so.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so you guys do great stuff.
Yeah. Now I can tell everyone Robert De Niro listens to the show.
What's that?
I said now I can tell everyone Robert De Niro listens to the show.
You have to. No, I honestly, I don't know what else to say. I'm just so proud and honored to be part of this, and I just plan on continuing what I've been doing for the past 5 years, just trying to raise the bar for us, and just giving horror fans what they want, and it's an exciting time. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
So
we really appreciate you, man.
Well, I appreciate you guys.
You on board.
You have no idea. We could suck each other's dicks all night if you want to.
Sweet Lord, you went there.
I can boast about being with Mr. De Niro.
So the night's looking up now.
That's right.
I just
Who knew the Raging Bull had time to write for a horror magazine? Like,
And Neil and I don't have our pants on. We're going together.
All right, guys. Well, let me let you continue the mirth and mayhem, and I'll get off here.
All right.
I wanted to say thank you.
You might literally get off by the sounds of it.
Oh shit! Hell yeah, man! Nothing but a cock ring on.
Wow.
No, I'm really excited to be part of Malevolent, and I'm just celebrating a little bit because I just signed off on my author agreement for my book deal. I'm not gonna plug myself or anything, but it's fantastic. It's good times for everybody, and we're all just doing great things, and that's through hard work and the love of the genre, and good things come back, with hard work, and that's what I tell people all the time. And, you guys got some announcements that you've told me that you can't even say, and I'm gonna keep it a secret. But it's a fantastic time for everybody. I'm just really excited to be part of it, and so I'm gonna get off here and let you guys continue, and I'll keep listening.
Excellent. Thank you for calling in.
Awesome, man.
All right, Neil.
We
Talk to you
appreciate
soon.
you, man.
Yep.
Thank you, brother.
Bye, Rob.
See you, Amy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Let's see here. 831 area code. Who are you? They just hung up. They were very scared. But
it's because I said you had your pants off.
That is a very scary thought.
What's weird is this is the first time I've wore pants in weeks. I feel out of place now.
I believe we have Terrible Troy's on the line now.
You do.
Yay!
How we doing, folks?
Are you wearing pants?
Are you? Yeah.
I do now. I had a kilt on over the weekend, but
That's very cool. Now, actually, we're talking about, obviously we talked about horror magazines, but Troy's my older brother, so I used to read a lot of his horror magazines when I was a little kid. He's 9 years older, and I always remember Salem's Lot. The pictures they'd have in the old Fangoria were like so scary.
oh yeah.
It was
Like the image of him looking through the window.
Yeah, that's the one. That's what I still remember that, and drawing a blank on the. It's a vampire movie, Romero vampire movie. Martin. The pictures of Martin were always very scary in the magazines too. What were the other ones, Troy? You had maybe famous monsters of filmland.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey. Hello.
Hello. Who is
Julia
this?
Roberts.
Who is it? I'm sorry.
Julia Roberts.
All right. Now we got Julia Roberts on the line.
I just thought I'd call in because I figured Robert De Niro was on, and I just really thought it was okay to come out of the closet and make a phone call as well, and just say what a great show it is, and I'm having such fun, and my little evil kitty cat is having fun too. And Amy, I really think you should tell Emory not to talk so much.
I know. It's quite. It's annoying. I'm planning an intervention.
I think an intervention would be good.
Yeah, I've written a letter out of love.
Oh my God!
I plan on addressing it soon. It's really become a problem.
Well, I just think he's annoyingly loud and obnoxious, and I think he needs some kind of medication. I don't know. An intervention would be good. But I did. This is Leanne, of course. You know that.
Yes.
I wanted to just call in really quickly and say I love listening to the shows, but more importantly, there's so many of us out there that love and adore you guys. And I want to tell you something. I am, and Emory will tell you this is true, that I'm the biggest snob that has ever walked the planet. Well, in Carmel anyway. I don't know about anywhere else, but right here, I'm it. And the magazine Legends is really unusual. It's the first time anything like this has been done. It looks sleek and swish and very streamlined, and it's going to go places, and I'm really proud. Thank you so much for the shout-out. And I'm just really proud to know you guys and to just, I think Emory had me as Women in Horror last February. He did this wonderful little thing. Oh, is that Emory talking too much again?
I know, right? I know.
Is he talking too much again? Emory, you really need to shut up. Anyway, so what I wanted to say is I love you guys. I love Emory. I love you. You guys are amazing. You are talented. You know what you're doing. And I'll tell you what, sophistication. You're going to give a whole new door to open as far as these publications are concerned. It's very fresh, like I said. It's very swish. It's sophisticated, and I just want to say congratulations. I think it's wonderful.
We really appreciate you, Leanne. And I can't wait for people to see. Mm-hmm. What is it? I can't wait for people to see your shoot.
Oh, my God. I know.
Absolutely.
It's going to be great, and thank you so much for having me there.
We do appreciate your support. Thank you so very much.
You're so very welcome.
We never do this without being grateful, and it comes from a sincere place. So thank you endlessly.
Absolutely. And anyway, I'm going to get off the phone because I am Julia Roberts and I have better things to do. So anyway, I will talk to you really soon.
I'll email you the details on the intervention.
Could you do that? Because, oh my God, something has to be done right away. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, honey. Legends. All right. Bye.
Yes.
I'll see you, Miss Roberts.
Thank you for calling in.
Okay. Bye.
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 Let's see here. AJ Punk said he's listening to With or Without Your Cock Ring Radio.
That's the new theme.
He did ask
He
earlier.
said what? He said what now?
He said he was listening to With or Without Your Cock Ring Radio. That was in reference to the Robert De Niro calling.
Oh, okay. All right. We could maybe think about a new title for the show. You never know.
There's Malevolent Extreme, then there'll be Without Your Head Extreme.
There you go.
He wants to know if you guys plan to broadcast on Periscope, which is a live app on your phone. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
I've never checked that out. I've heard a lot of people talk about it, but we're definitely going to have to look into it.
Yeah, I know Amy will have a problem with it because it only broadcasts off Twitter, I believe.
You're so awesome. Yeah, I still say God bless you when people say they tweeted. Sorry, no.
Machete don't text and Amy don't tweet.
Yes, Emory, I sent Neil that picture that you made for me. When Emory and I talked about tweeting, and I've actually been asked several times to start doing it, but when Emory and I go back and forth about this, I told him, I was like, look, I don't tweet, dude. And so he made a Photoshop picture of myself, and it is Machete don't text, Amy don't tweet. So it's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of the Twitter either, but I do. I basically just use it to plug the show, to be honest. But Facebook is a lot more fun.
Yeah, and also you can actually you can post so much more on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
And I have my Twitter and Facebook accounts connected, so anything I put on Facebook automatically goes on Twitter. So kind of kills two birds with one stone.
Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering if you have them both connected and everything you tweet is posted to Facebook and everything you post on Facebook is then tweeted, if it would just be like a never-ending cycle where once you post it, it would just keep going back and forth.
It was just lost in a tweeting vortex or something.
Exactly. So I do apologize for some of the technical difficulties throughout the show here, but I think it's totally working fine now. And if not, the podcast will be totally fine. You'll be able to just hit play, and you'll be able to hear it. Totally fine. Professional here. So some other names in the magazine. Let's see. Ari Lehman is another great guy. Have you guys ever heard First Jason? His band.
Sorry, say that again?
First Jason, Ari's band. He plays the guitar.
Yes, I mean not live.
It's very good. He's a good musician.
I watched a couple of their videos, and he absolutely shreds on that thing, man.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Yeah, I actually saw him live in the Viper Room in Los Angeles playing the guitar, which probably doesn't happen too often. Someone in the Viper Room playing the guitar. Yeah, it was. It was very cool.
And plus, it looks like a machete.
Yes, it does. Exactly. We mentioned John Dugan earlier. He actually, and I know Emory had told me off air here that he's a wrestling fan. And so people know I do both wrestling and horror. And so I was going to do a Texas Chainsaw Massacre panel, and people kept joking, "Don't call him Hacksaw Jim Duggan, who's a famous wrestler." And I was like, I'm not going to do that. And so we did the panel, and afterwards I was thanking everybody, and then I said, "And thanks to Jim Duggan." And I was like, oh my God. And then
did he just give you a gratuitous
Yeah, what was the response?
John said, "Neil, if I didn't love you, I would beat the shit out of you." So it was totally fine. But it's very embarrassing.
That's him. He's so great. I think one of the things that I love the most is there's so much, because the questions that were asked were not your norm. You get much more of a fascinating response.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been, every one of our interviews, it's been amazing. The stories, the how-tos, the how did you get here, the personalities really come out. And that's been amazing. And even looking at the indie films that we get to put in Legends, we get to do Pale Horse, we get to do Abnormal Attractions for Fuzz on the Lens. Those guys are sick. And I'm still trying to get a T-shirt from Michael Levy, so I'm just putting it out there if he's listening. And to do with The Haunted and Tales of Poe. Are you kidding me? It's such a work of art, and you've got Bart Mastrodon. We're so privileged by being able to get into the nuts and bolts of all this good information cover to cover. I mean, it's so much. I don't want to give anything away, so I kind of have to think about what I'm going to say. But the fun part about doing the indie films, when we spotlight them, you usually have two people that are a part of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we were trying to think outside of the box. How do we do this? How are we going? Because it's very easy to have questions and to ask one person. So how do you ask a question with two people, because that's two answers? And we're also trying to go outside of the box. We actually have the we did a twist, and of course we asked them, we were like, hey, what do you think about this? And everyone loved the idea. We have them interviewing each other. So, for example, Bart interviewed Alan Rowe Kelly. And that was, so they interview each other. And the material is fascinating.
That's awesome.
And they make an amazing team too. If you get to see Tales of Poe, I mean, it's literally a masterpiece on film. I've never seen any film like it, and I'm really happy to have them as part of it. That's of the films that we're featuring, the indie ones. That's the only one we've gotten to actually view, but all of them, are fantastic projects, and I can't wait to, actually reveal what they all had to say to each other and to reveal to us.
Now, for people not familiar, what is Tales of Poe?
It's by Alan Rowe Kelly and Bart. I'm sorry if I don't get his last name right. I'll just say our friend Bart. It's,
Master Tony.
Yes, Master Tony. It's about, it's based on the tales of Edgar Allan Poe, and it's an anthology. It has 3 different tales in it. Adrienne King is in it, which she does a fantastic job. She has actually plays 2 roles in the film, and but just the visuals. It's very atmospheric, and it kind of takes you to a dreamy place whenever you watch it. It's very well done, and I think everybody will love it.
I'm a huge fan of anthologies in general, and I'm glad that they've really made a comeback in the last few years.
Yeah, and one in particular that I've seen recently is Volumes of Blood. It's It was actually filmed here in Kentucky, and I'll be featuring the filmmaker from that one in the October regular Malevolent issue also, EJ Starks. But that's, it has so many twists and turns in it, and the stories, like you don't think that they intertwine with each other, but then they come back around, and it's just, all of the stories within it actually end up being one story. So anthologies, they really have made a huge resurgence in the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I'm really happy about. Oh, what kind of horror movies are you both into generally? Do you both have similar tastes in horror movies?
Well,
oh gosh, we've never watched one together. I don't know.
Well, like my all-time favorite is the Evil Dead trilogy, and but I love the classics, and mostly like the '80s, or like that's my decade of horror movies that I really loved. Like the Nightmare on Elm Streets and stuff like that. But then also the '70s, pretty much started it all as far as the slashers and everything like that goes. And so, The Exorcist, that's up there as far as demonic possession movies. And love all of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But then, you get into the indie realm, and you're introduced to all these new films, and that it kind of, it pays, some of them pay homage to the older school ones, but then there's also so many unique and original ideas. And that's kind of like whenever I started Malevolent and started, that's the main focus was indie films. And one thing that I do want to talk about is Blood on the Reel by Johnny Daggers. Mm-hmm. It's a documentary that's going to be coming out on DVD later this year, and it also has a couple of screenings coming up. But it's the first ever documentary on indie horror filmmaking. It goes behind the scenes and kind of, it shows you like all of the trouble and hardships that these filmmakers go through to get their film done and out there. And people like Michael S. Rodriguez and Kelly Hughes and Massimiliano Cherkai, he's been it. And but definitely be on the lookout for that whenever it comes out. Johnny Daggers, Blood on the Reel.
Mm-hmm. And Amy, what kind of horror movies interest you?
I'd have to say the most honest answer would have to be my mood, because I like all of them. If Jaws got me into it, because Jaws was probably the first movie that I saw where fear provoked me but fascinated me at the same time, because it was fear on so many different senses. But I love, of course, the Halloweens, the Friday the 13th, because I think that there is something nostalgic with them. There is an emotional attachment because they were your first. But so well done. But it really does, and I love indie because it is such. I love anything that has to do with not being in the box, not being in a box, artistically free. You get to see someone's creativity. It doesn't necessarily have to be good, but someone's heart and hard work projects onto their projects. So I love looking and being able to answer this question on the premise of what movie have I worn out the most? Shaun of the Dead.
All right, well, horror comedy then. But I agree it does depend on mood.
I love it.
Yeah, I do agree on the mood part, because Do I necessarily think like Bloodsucking Freaks is a better movie than Jaws? No, but I can enjoy them both equally depending, what kind of mood I am, and I can enjoy a really silly horror movie, and you can enjoy a really well-made horror movie.
Absolutely, and I think that's the reason that, because and I'm sure this is a surprise to you, Neil. So if you're standing, you may need to sit, because I'm going to drop a heavy one on you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an in-the-box type of person. I'm kind of hyper. I kind of like the artsy stuff.
Uh-huh.
I know. Are you okay?
I'm very fine.
Yeah, I know that was big.
Mm-hmm.
Did you survive that? You never expected it, I know.
Yeah, I'm a professional here.
I love anything outside of the box.
Uh-huh.
I can appreciate it on a lot of different levels. And so I love horror, the genre, and I love all of its levels. And I think that's the reason that I enjoy my job so much, is because I'm fascinated by all the levels, the photography, the special effects, how the actors get into character. Is it an indie movie? Is it mainstream? I can appreciate all of those because I love horror first. I couldn't give a shit less about romances or anything like that, because that's just my particular taste. But God, horror is amazing because it is. So I like it on all levels.
Mm-hmm. Jaws was filmed not far from me.
Ah, that's right. You are close to Martha's. Yeah.
Yes, I'm on the Cape. Very close, very close. Every year here, they have all kinds of specials for Jaws. They have I think they have some kind of Jaws reunion every year on Martha's Vineyard. But I was lucky enough to see it on the big screen. I think it was last year. We went to see it at the Brattle Theater, which was awesome. It's do you guys get to see a lot of movies at the theater? Because there is a difference. Even the older movies, it's so fun to be able to see them. How they were intended to be seen.
Right. It's I rarely go out to a theater. It's been so long, but I'm hoping on this Halloween, Blood on the Reel is going to be premiering down in Virginia, and they're also going to be showing Army of Darkness, the original Hills Have Eyes. Seeing films like that on the big screen, it would really be amazing. Because I remember actually going to see Army of Darkness at the theater, and
I did too.
It's just a whole different experience when you catch them on the big screen.
Mm-hmm. As a big Dungeons and Dragons fan, as a teenager, that was one of our favorite movies to go see. I think we went to see it many times. Army of Darkness.
Yeah, probably one of the most quoted movies of all time.
Oh, definitely. See, AJ Punk wants to know, what are your views on horror remakes?
That's so political.
Well, I mean, with the rise of the indie community, there's so many fresh ideas out there.
Yeah.
That I would rather see, 10, even, 10 or 20 independent films made on the budget that one Hollywood remake would be made. And I can't really think of one that really, truly did what I wanted it to do for me, as far as, paying homage to the original. Or I did like the remake of Evil Dead, though.
I did too.
And, it was
totally different. And I thought it was smart not to have Ash in it, just because no one else would be able to take that role, and you would always compare it. and it would never live up. So I thought it was smart just not to do it, you know.
Right.
Agreed.
And there are, I mean, you know, some of the older remakes, like John Carpenter's The Thing, is a classic, and a lot of people love the Fly remake, but a lot of the newer ones. I'm sure you both know Adam Green, and in the Hatcher films, we had him. He was one of the first guests. I think he might have been our second guest ever on the show. So that we had him on the show. It was right before Hatcher came out, and I used to talk to him on MySpace back in the day, and so we had him on the show.
Oh, look at you pulling that from old school MySpace.
Now, did you tweet? But did you use the MySpace?
Can I be completely honest?
Sure. Well, I hope so. Or you can lie to me. Whatever.
Prior to yes, because everything up until now has been
it's just been a lie.
I am not. Believe it or not, again, hope you're sitting down, until my work needed the social platform, I had maybe been on social media for a year. And I'll tell you, and there's a good reason. My first job are my two precious daughters. Everything else has to come around them. Period. End of discussion. Everyone knows that. But I also am extremely hyper and severe ADD. So I'm the dog in Up, squirrel. And social, and I can't understand I had a great cup of coffee. My butt is buzzing because you had a great cup of coffee. And I went squirrel, and so it was very hard. It was a very hard concept for me, and to each their own. And it benefits. It does, because now I plug, I'll clog somebody's thread because of everything that's going on, but it is a part of my work. But no, personally, I've not really been a...
Yeah. It's actually funny.
Media.
It's funny you put it that way, because I never had any of that stuff either. And my friend Ron Hex at the time was like, "You really should get MySpace. It's like the big thing." And I was like, "I don't care about that." And he's like, "Oh, you can use it to plug the show." And so I was like, And he's like, "I'll make you one." So he made me one. And then also same thing happened on Facebook. We were doing on our old before we were on Facebook, we had a message board, old school message board, and people on there like, it was Andrew Vaughn who listens to the show, and it was like 2006 or whenever Facebook popped up, and he's like, "I'm going to make you guys a Facebook page," and I was like, I'm not going to use that crap, but obviously it's come in very handy.
It's a wonderful tool.
Yeah. I actually do enjoy Facebook, though. I do enjoy Facebook, so I'm glad I'm on there. But back to Adam Green. Real quick, what I was we got to talk about Facebook and MySpace, but I told him that I really liked on the first Hatchet. The tagline was, "It's not a sequel, not a remake, not based on a Japanese one." And I was like, I think that's a really funny tagline for the movie. And then he went on to explain that was an actual quote from an actual a studio that turned down distribution for the movie, and their reason was it wasn't a remake, it wasn't based off a Japanese movie, and it wasn't a sequel to another movie, so they didn't want to be involved in it. So I just thought that was just insane, that because it was original, they didn't want to put it out.
I've often wondered, and I really want to ask someone one day, what is the true reason for remakes? Why would you take an original because if a story is already told, why would you tell it again?
I guess maybe with today's technology, as far as special effects and stuff goes, that's the only reason that I kind of enjoy some of the remakes. Is the difference in technology, but as far as retelling the story, there's so many original ones out there.
I mean, it used to be they would remake just here and there, it wouldn't just be, just a nonstop remake. So I think it would, like when John Carpenter did The Thing, he really grew up loving that movie, and that was black and white, a totally different era. So he's like, I want to, do my version of it. And I think the same thing with like The Fly and, a lot of the older remakes, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. But in the last few years, it's just been remaking like just everything. And it's like remake of My Bloody Valentine, which I really like the movie My Bloody Valentine, but why does that need to be remade? And it was basically just the same movie, just new, and it just seemed kind of if you have like a reason to do it, like you want to do something different with it, or I don't know, I can understand that, but it just seems like they just reboot them just to do it. I assume they think it's like built-in money, I guess, or built-in audience, but I don't know. A lot of them don't do that well, though, so I really don't know.
But when you go back in, but I don't know, I think sometimes I can overthink something, because at the end of the day, everything boils down to people's taste. So when they ask opinions about what I like, I always will tell you what I like, but at the same time with the disclosure, I may not like what you like. That one doesn't, cancel out the other. But what kind of rings in with me is whenever we do, like when we did thinking about doing the Legends of Horror, we went back to the Legends. So it always goes back to the original. So to someone who is doing a remake, I would weigh that. If I were someone doing a remake, I would weigh that in, because you're always going to be known as the remake. You aren't going to be that. And I know it's not everybody's goal, but I wouldn't do it just on with that being one of the factors too. Does that make sense?
No, we actually had a big discussion about this a few weeks ago, Annabelle and I, on the show, about remakes and the originals, and that was something I talked about. Was when people think of like Friday the 13th, no one thinks of the remake of Friday the 13th. They think of the original Jason. When you think of Freddy, no one thinks of Freddy from the remake. They all think of Robert Englund. That no one thinks of the new Pinhead that was in that last one. They all think of Doug Bradley. There's very few. I think there are a few, like Rob Zombie's Halloween, I think actually does have a following. And I still think most people think of the original Halloween, but that does have its own following, I think.
But I think that's in part because Rob kind of put his staple artistry out there.
Yeah, it wasn't just a run-of-the-mill remake.
He's very much throwback. He's very much, so he told the story, but he put the Rob Zombie twist on it. So it wasn't, he did it, his fashion was amazing, because it wasn't to foreshadow the one, but if I was in a forum, in a conversation or a panel piece talking about Halloween, it would go back to Carpenter, but in the premise of remakes, Rob owned it, and he put his flair on it, but he had he already had an existing artistry established. So that helped, because it just visually and just screamed his artistry, so that helped.
Yeah, it's definitely in the minority where there's a remake that stands on its own.
Yeah.
And
I remember thinking I wanted to go because he did it, and I wanted to see his artistry in it. So, any Rob Zombie fan, it wasn't going to see a remake, it was going to see his spin on it. So that was definitely unique.
What were you saying, Emory?
Sorry.
And with the Evil Dead remake, they did tell a new story. And I even heard that they may incorporate, have Ash kind of come into that realm too in a follow-up film, which I think would be pretty amazing.
I'm looking forward to the show, Ash vs. Evil Dead. When's that? That starts very soon, I think.
I think it's going to do really well. And especially it being on Stars, they can get away with the more brutal stuff. Like if it was on one of your like NBC or something like that, it would be canceled within the first month probably. And but there's so many hardcore Evil Dead and just Bruce Campbell fans in general out there that just to have him back in that character, I mean, and plus introduce it to a whole new generation to the Evil Dead trilogy, that's going to do amazing things for their films too, because everybody will watch the show and then they'll go back and watch the original movies.
Yeah, and the just from the trailers, it looks like it really has the same magic and the fun of the original movies.
Right, with the Deadites and everything, and his Ash's wit.
Yeah,
you can't have the Evil Dead without Ash and his witty comments.
Exactly. AJ posted here, which I'm sure Amy will not be happy about, the rumor of an Exorcist remake.
Uh-oh.
Boo! Now that I'll put my foot down on.
That is kind of an untouchable one.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way you're going to even touch it. You're not going to make it better. You're not going to. I don't think you can even really make it more extreme. So why even bother?
Right.
Well, you can't. And there was one thing that we touched on in the Legends issue. There are certain ones you should just know right off the bat, give it up. Because it was, prior to that, there weren't any, it set the tone for the demonic possession. It set the tone for that it really laid the groundwork for so many things and put so much fear that why would you want to remake that?
The filmmaker would have the weight of the world on their shoulders.
Yeah, I don't think any exorcism movie of any kind's ever even come close to The Exorcist.
No. And if they tried to make it as extreme, it would. There's really nothing they could do to make it as extreme without going so overboard that it would be banned.
Yeah, it would be something that people really just wouldn't want to watch.
Yeah.
And just a little, just to say, it is the only movie. It has a lot of humor in this fact as well. The one movie that has scared me to the core was The Exorcist. I have never watched it to this day from beginning to the end, and I work for fucking Pazuzu. Go figure that. Go figure that one out.
Does she know that?
Does Eileen know that?
Yeah.
She does now.
Another Malevolent exclusive.
Yeah, no, she does. It's she does. And it's kind of hilarious because it wasn't one of the. It's not a topic that you bring up because when you start to work for someone, you want to earn your credentials, and it's amazing. And not a lot of people. Well, I have my job and I'm honored and I love her and could not work for a better person and have for a long time now. But when you first get a job with someone that you are nervous with because of being a fan of horror, it's not a lead-in. I'm sorry, I'm so scared of your character that I've not watched your movie, but please hire me. Yeah. So kind of left that out a little bit. Just a little out.
Have to go through the getting to know you process before you reveal that one.
I had to make sure that I was worth keeping before I really showed my pussy pants. So I mean, kind of tucked that one for a bit.
I do want to mention Eileen has a great a contest going on about her book.
Yes, absolutely. It's the selfie challenge. She has a book, Exorcising My Demons, and it is a great read. And I know that it's hard for people to, when I glorify things about her and things that she's doing, look, it's not going to keep my job. I've already worked my ass off. I'm keeping my job because I worked my ass off. It really is a good read. And if an A to Z person says that it's a good read, it's a good read. But it is going to her website, eileendeeds.com, going to the merchandise section, ordering that book and taking a selfie once you receive your book, which is autographed, which will be autographed. Take a selfie. We've got a contest, and we've got some sick prizes, man. We've got the Pazuzu. We've got pea soup. We have the Pazuzu statue. Send it to us, and on Halloween we get to pick the winner. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think I love the idea. I think, even if you didn't win anything, it's like an awesome idea. But then the prizes are awesome, and then you get to see your picture up online. And yeah, I might have to enter it myself.
I'll be checking on that. Thanks.
Speaking of contests, I actually just won the Fear House contest. They had a contest that said, "How would you kill someone if you killed them?"
Right.
So I wanted to get in on that. So I took a selfie, me and my crowbar, and but I actually won that. And
awesome.
But Fear House, I love that show. I mean, the web series.
I love it too. Yeah,
and it's introducing people to so many short films in the indie realm, and so I would recommend that to anybody out there listening who hasn't checked it out. Fear House, hosted by Blair Bathory.
Yeah, I entered it too. I had a big wooden mallet, but I didn't win. But
really?
Yes. I'm jealous now that Emory won with the crowbar. But
sorry,
you didn't show me that picture, Neil. I would have loved to have seen it.
Amy wants to see my big mallet. But
and there you go, folks.
But yeah,
there is so much sexual tension. Can I please get some props for the fact that I hang with dudes? I mean, seriously.
It's very good.
AJ, if you're listening, I would be the only one that can't weigh in on the cock ring. But I'm still awesome. Just tossing that out there.
You could I don't know, put your ponytail in it. There's other uses.
Put my ponytail in a cock ring, Neil? Really?
I was just trying to think of other practical uses.
There's 1,001 uses.
Exactly. That's to be my
I'll
new website.
I'll never see a ponytail the same again.
I was just saying. I'll never see a cock ring the same again. No.
Oh,
I forgot what I was talking about. Fear House. But yeah, I love the Speaking of cock rings, I love Fear House. That was my device of how I would kill someone. I took a picture with a. No, but Fear House is awesome. The whole idea of it is great. Because, like I said earlier, I love anthologies, and you really don't have you have the anthology films, you don't really have an anthology TV show anymore, like a Tales from the Crypt. And then it's a platform independent artists who make short films to be seen. So everything about it is a really great idea. And it's also like a home for those, because sometimes people make shorts and they kind of get lost, on the internet. But if you have them all in one place, you can go and watch a series, It's a really great idea. I really enjoy them.
Well, if they ever happen, if it ever happens again, I'm going to enter to try to win something, and I'm going to kill someone by a ponytail cock ring. So I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to figure out how that would work.
Put on some
I'll
death
figure
metal
it out.
and do some headbanging and swing your cock ring around.
And we just created our own indie film right here on the radio, folks. Aren't you glad you tuned in? Holy shit!
Cockring the movie. Coming
Thanks to Mr. De Niro.
starring Robert De Niro. In the role he was born to play.
Oh, ouch, that hurt. I have to apologize. To everybody. I sound like I have emphysema because I'm getting over the flu, but that shit's funny. God, that's funny. Killer cock rings.
Have you ever seen the movie Killer Condom? That reminds me.
No.
I've never seen it.
It really is a good movie. And it's about killer condoms, and they've got little teeth on them. It's I highly suggest it.
The sister film to that movie Teeth.
Yeah, it came out years before Teeth. But
oh, really?
Yeah. It's yeah, it's a good movie.
I can't even weigh in. I'm actually crying. I'm laughing so hard.
It's weird how you can take anything and make a killer out of it. There was that one movie called Rubber about the killer, the tire.
Right.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah, well, it's like, it had like telekinesis, I believe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, a tire with telekinesis. What the fuck?
And it was based on a true story.
Shut
Wasn't it? It was one of those real found footage films too.
Yes, I believe it was. I actually at a convention I was at, it was there, and you could get for like $5. You could take a picture with the rubber tire.
Wow.
Oh my God! I'll go out to my Jeep and do the same thing, and everyone will believe it.
That's actually a pretty innovative idea.
Yeah. At the next show, Matt, I'm gonna offer photo ops with the killer condom. I don't know how that will go. I think we got Terrible Troy in the line.
We do. At long last, I apologize for my delay.
That's okay. It's okay. And
how you doing, Troy?
All things are good. How about with you guys?
We're doing good.
Doing well.
Looking forward to getting that Legends issue out there. It's been a long, hard road.
It'll be rewarding when you're done, though.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Troy...
There's been so many sexual innuendos, it's been insane. So, Troy, there's killer penises and cock rings and ponytails. Oh, my.
Well, I have 2 of those 3 things working right now.
Oh, my sweet. Oh.
You don't think you're going to be any safer now that I'm here? I'll fall right into that, I'm afraid.
I'm so excited.
I couldn't think of it earlier, Troy, but who designed the killer condom monster? It was the guy,
H.R. Giger.
Yeah, which is crazy to think, but the same guy who designed Alien actually designed the killer condom.
That is pretty
Shut
wild.
the front door.
Totally serious.
Yeah, the late great H.R. Giger did that.
Wow. I'm definitely going to have to look that one up then.
Yeah, and the woman alien and what was that other one?
Species? Yeah. And it is
Shut the front door. Really?
Yep.
God.
And a great poster to a terrible.
This is Erwin Keys, and you are listening to WithoutYourHead.com, baby.
Seems about every half hour.
Yeah, and everybody takes off. I see how it is.
No, we've been having a little problems here on the show, but we're back here.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it seems about every half hour it goes off. But we're back. So, we do want to let everybody know again, October 1st, The Legends of Horror issue of Malevolent Magazine. And you'll be able to get that on malevolentmagazine.com. I'm really looking forward to it. I love the cover. Everything sounds awesome. There's so many great people involved. A lot of people we've on the show, and some people we'd like to have on the show. So, and it's every name here, everyone will recognize who is a horror fan.
Yes. And to make it absolutely known, it is fantastic to have a partnership. Just for those who need more clarity, we are now more so of a media powerhouse. Malevolent plays off of Without Your Head and vice versa. So now we're one big family. So if you get Malevolent, you get Without Your Head.
And vice versa.
I'm liking that. That's
I was very proud, very honored you guys like the show and were interested in working together, and I'm very happy. And I think people listen to the show will see it's going to be a good partnership.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a win-win.
Exactly.
We're very excited about it.
I am as well. I don't know. I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find pictures of Killer Condom. Here we go.
Oh my God, are you really?
Yes.
Love it.
I'll send this over to the Facebook page, and I'll send one to Amy.
Of course you will.
Mm-hmm.
I know you will.
I'm having some technical problems here. But again, malevolentmagazine.com. We'll have all the links up on the website, but it's real easy. Just type that in, and you'll go there. We didn't mention composer Harry Manfredini will also be part of the issue.
Oh, sweet.
I know, right?
Yeah, I was really happy whenever he agreed to be a part of it. I mean, to have that, he's the originator, the Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
He's been involved in so many of the classic horror films, and he's a legend himself, so he fits right in.
Yeah, an all-around cool guy, too.
Yeah, and he, it kind of shocked us whenever, we sent him the email, and he responded that he would love to. And, but he's also involved in so many of the indie films today, and that's one of the other things that we respect so much about all these legends is, despite, their place in the industry, they still all want to be a part of the independent films that are coming out today. And because, I'm sure that none of them really have to be, but they have such a passion about it that they want to be.
Yeah, that's got to be up on the top 10, maybe probably top 5, like most memorable, music score of any movie. I mean, anyone who would even mimic that, and you're gonna know exactly what movie that's from.
That's right up there with like Jaws and Psycho.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Probably top 3.
See?
What was that?
Troy said Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
It was everything. It hits fear on so many levels and on so many centuries. And Harry is amazing. I mean, talented, and the projects that he's been a part of,
Mm-hmm.
There's no way we could not have him in Legend.
Nope, an excellent choice.
All right. Well, we want to thank you guys for coming on tonight. It's been almost 2 hours. It's been a great time talking to you, and we'll definitely have you guys on regularly on the show.
Sounds great, man.
Is that a promise or a threat?
A little bit of both coming from us.
I will bring my mallet next time.
Nice. I'll bring the ponytail cock ring, I think.
I'll bring the crowbar and the condoms.
Mm-hmm.
But the hell am I?
Party.
You guys took all the good stuff.
This is like our own version of Clue.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna bring the glowing black rune sword.
They did it in the library with the cock
I
ring.
killed Neil in the library with the cock ring. Yep. Sounds about
Somebody
right.
could choke me out with my own ponytail. That'd be kind of cool. Be a good death, I think.
Well, guys, thank you so much for having us on, and thank you especially for being our partner. I don't even know. Sister, brother, what do we say? Sister radio station? Brother radio station? Cock ring radio station? I don't know.
We'll have to. I'm not sure either. I'm not sure it's like uncle or.
I know.
That
Yeah, it
doesn't.
could be like the creepy uncle.
I was just saying uncle doesn't
Second
sound as
cousin?
close, but kissing cousins, I like that one.
Well, this is kind of like now, like a Warren kind of thing, you know, Uncle Creepy and
that's true.
cousin Erie and Uncle Creepy.
Mm-hmm. We'll think about it.
Thank you guys. It's going to be an outstanding partnership, and we're honored and love you guys. And I cannot wait for the next year, the upcoming year. It's going to be sick.
Definitely, yeah, and hopefully we'll run into you guys at a convention sometime.
Most definitely.
Yeah, it'll be good times. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah. All
Well,
right.
I apologize for not being here for the entire thing, but what I heard was mad cool.
You
You'll
better.
have to come. You can hang out with us next time.
All right, very good. It's a date.
Excellent. All right, we're gonna play some. We got the Artist of the Month, Wolfman Chuck, and the Spookalele of Doom. And thanks again to Amy and Emory from Malevolent Magazine for joining us.
Very good.
Thank you.
Good night, guys. Thanks for having us.
Good night.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, this is Bill Mosley. I play Otis in House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects and Chop Top and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And you're listening to WithoutYourHead.com. Don't touch that dial or I will lick your plate. No.